Hey everyone. So, if you've ever found yourself staring at a low privilege shell during the OSCP, watching that clock just mercilessly tick down while you feel completely and utterly stuck, then you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to break down the single biggest roadblock for so many candidates: privilege escalation. It's time to find a smarter way forward.
And this quote, wow, this gets right to the heart of the problem, doesn't it? It's almost never about getting that initial foothold. It's about what you do next. That sinking feeling of having shells on multiple machines but no root, yeah, that's a feeling a lot of us know all too well.
So, does this whole scenario sound a little too familiar? You enumerate a bit, you find some random exploit, you throw it at the machine, and nothing. Then you just stare at the screen, feeling that pressure build and build. If that's you, listen up. You're not bad at this. You're just missing a system. And that, right there, is our first big idea. The solution isn't about memorizing 1,000 more exploits. It's about changing your entire approach. It's about consciously moving from a state of pure panic to a state of calm, repeatable pattern recognition. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The OSCP isn't really testing your ability to pull some magical exploit out of a hat. What it's really testing is your ability to follow a calm, methodical process when your brain is tired, stressed, and screaming at you to just try anything. And this is the core takeaway. Seriously, write this down, put it on a sticky note on your monitor. Patterns, not panic. This simple little phrase is the key to unlocking a way more effective and honestly a much less stressful approach to every single box you're ever going to face. Okay, so how do we actually put patterns, not panic, into practice? Well, we build a decision tree. Now, this isn't about trying to memorize 30 new things at once. Not at all. It's about creating a structured, layered checklist that guides your thinking when you feel lost. Think of it like this. Instead of having this giant, overwhelming shopping list of exploits that you just stare at, you have a simple 3-step process. This structure, this is what keeps you from spiraling when you feel stuck. It always gives you a clear answer to the question, okay, what's next? And here it is, the 3-layer model, laid out perfectly. It all starts with layer 1, the foundation. Did I actually enumerate everything properly? Only after you can say yes to that do you move to layer 2, the specific OS level attacks. And then finally, layer 3, which is just as critical, is all about managing your own mindset when the pressure is really on. So let's build this out, starting with that all-important first layer. And I know, I get it. Enumeration can feel like the boring part, right? It's the busy work. But I'm telling you, rushing or skipping it is the #1 reason people get stuck. Period. Just think of this checklist as your safety net. I mean, how many times is the answer hiding in plain sight in the output of sudo-l, or in a writable script in a cron job you just skimmed over? Running through these basics first, every single time, is going to save you hours of wasted effort chasing ghosts. I absolutely love this quote because it is 100% true. Every single minute you spend on methodical enumeration is an investment. You are literally buying yourself clarity, time, and most importantly, sanity for when things get tough later on. Okay, so once your enumeration is solid, then you move to layer 2, the OS-specific attack patterns. And the key here is to have a different mental model for Linux and Windows. They are not the same and they require totally different approaches. This slide just lays it out perfectly. For Linux, I want you to think of a funnel. You start with broad, quick checks, and you methodically narrow down to the deeper, riskier stuff like kernel exploits. For Windows, it's more of a sweep. It's a broad scan of common misconfigurations because the answer is so often hiding in plain sight in those long, verbose outputs. So the most crucial point here, look at where kernel exploits are. They're in the final column, under heavy artillery. They are last. You only go there after you have completely exhausted all the higher probability, lower risk options in steps 1 and 2. This discipline by itself will transform your entire Linux privesc game. All right, let's talk about layer 3. Because you can have all the technical skills in the world, but if you can't manage your own psychology under pressure, none of it matters. This is all about winning the mental game. 30. What does this number mean? Well, this number is your emergency brake. It's the rule that's going to stop you from digging yourself into a rabbit hole for hours and hours on a single box. This is pattern 27, and let me be clear, it is non-negotiable.
If you have made zero progress in 30 minutes, the problem probably isn't the exploit. The problem is that you missed something in your enumeration. Stop, take a breath, and run your enum scripts again. I promise you, you will be amazed at what you see with a fresh pair of eyes.
And these other meta skills are just as critical. Focus on one single thing at a time. Stop multitasking. Take notes as if you're writing instructions for a very tired, very stressed out version of yourself in the future. And be brave enough to walk away from a box that just isn't paying off.
So we have the theory and we have the mindset. But the whole point of the system is action, right? So what can you do right now, today, to start building this muscle memory? Here it is, a super simple 3-step plan for the next 15 minutes. Don't try to do everything at once. Just pick one lab, one box, and intentionally, slowly walk through those first 8 enumeration patterns. Document everything you do. That's it. That's the start.
As we wrap up, I really want to leave you with this perspective. The OSCP is a puzzle. It's a performance on one given day. It is not a final judgment on your skill or your worth as a person. When you start treating it like a puzzle, one that has a repeatable routine, so much of the fear just melts away.
So that's really the choice, isn't it? You can keep chasing random exploits in a state of panic, or you can commit to a calm, methodical process of pattern recognition. The path to passing isn't about being a genius. It's about being systematic. And that choice is entirely yours.